So, welcome back to Wagmas. Before I even get into going too deep into crime against women, violence against women, let me put this out there first, right? Every time I'm talking about or somewhere where crime against women and domestic violence is being talked about, there's always a male person or two who would get up and say, well, you never talk about violence against men, domestic violence against men, and that is not necessarily true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that out the way. Yes, men do get domestically abused. The first time I ever seen a man that was domestically abused, I was 11 years old. And what this woman did was she waited until the man went to sleep, and luckily he was sleeping on his face instead of on his back. And she boiled up some hot water and she made it as hot as the water could get. And she poured it all over his back. And when he took his shirt off to reveal, because his complexion was, light, his back from up at his neck down to his waist, because he still had his pants on, was the color between an overripe red huge tomato and a beet with big water bubbles. So yes, men do get domestically abused as well, but in a male dominant society where women for ages been going through stuff, was women still rank the highest. Understand that even when you read in the stats, a lot of it has not been reported for women and as well for men. So I'm going to read some male stats for you. So you men, if you join the channel, can understand that, yeah, we understand men do get domestically abused. Abuse also go on in same-sex relationships. So technically, no relationship type is really safe from domestic abuse, domestic violence. So let me read some stats to you. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm reading. So this is from National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, NCADV. This is a report. 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence, intimate partner contact, all kinds of physical contact, and stalking. Right. 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. 1 in 7 men have been victims of severe physical violence. Example, beating, burning, strangling by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Burning, strangling, I did say that. And then 5.1 million men in the United States have been stalked in their lifetime. So there's your male stat. Now it says this statistic clearly shows that contrary to stereotype, men are often victims of domestic violence too. So I'm getting you men out the way so we could talk about women. Places you can go if you want to find out more about this is National Domestic Violence Hotline, www.thehotline.org for stakeholders. Okay, all right. So over 1 in 3 women, 35.6%, and 1 in 4 men, 28 48.5% in the U.S. have experienced everything that comes with domestic violence, all the physical abuse that comes with domestic violence, including the stalking, and in their by their intimate partner in their lifetime. People also ask, what is the domestic violence rate in the United States in 2025? Well, change 2019 to 2025 across the sample cities, the 2025 average domestic violence rate was about 19% lower than in 2019. Change from peak over the past 8 years. The highest average domestic violence rate was in 2018, 564 persons per 100,000 persons. The 2025 rate is 431.5. I was 23% below that peak January 21, 2026. Okay, so there's your statistic for male. And so male, you can not say we didn't acknowledge the fact that men are domestically abused. If you men want more information, there's a piece on the web. It's the San Diego County Sheriff Office, and it's put out by the Administrative Center, the John F. Duffy Administrative Center in San Diego, California. And it's called Abused Men. And they've help for abused men that says you're not alone. So now there's enough information on there to help men that are being abused, and I guess to help you as well to go to your city or your state and find out what's going on in your city and your state for domestic abuse of men. So there it is. There's your male part of domestic abuse, because even this week I was in a training session, and speaker was a female, and we were on a topic, and domestic violence was a piece of the topic, and brother just got up and just and I had to, after he finished, says, hey, understand the stats about domestic violence. Understand that as high as it seems in the rate of domestic violence, the stats are incomplete per se. Now, they're not incomplete that they took them. They're real numbers, but there's so much more that have not been reported that are not in those numbers, because people are afraid to report for whatever reason. A lot of times females have been threatened. They're scared if they report it, retaliation might be more or whatever. Male, on the other hand, don't report because, as I said in that little training, what would a 6'3" man look like reporting that a 5'6" woman just beat him up? You know, certain assault, when men report them, are not taken seriously if they're done by women. So, okay. You get what I'm saying. Um, Now, I'm saying that to say when you read stats on domestic violence, be it male or female, just know that it's higher. It's just that they don't have the reports to include in the rest of this data that they collected, because these things were never reported. There's a lot of domestic violence. A good portion of it's not reported. I mean, what if a male that's a domestic abuser of a female is the nicest, sweetest guy to everybody else? He carry people's grocery, help them with their cars. Just an all around nice guy to everybody else until he gets in that house. Now imagine her trying to tell somebody she's domestically abused. And let's understand this. Domestically abused women are probably some of the greatest makeup artists in the world. They gotta hide a black eye or a bruise somewhere. It's not an easy thing when you're in domestic abuse to confide in somebody else. Because number one, you don't want it to be a gossip and the person that's abusing you hear it back. So who do you tell? If you call the police and it doesn't look like it's much and the police leaves, then you might get abused again after the police leaves. How do you get out of a domestic abusive situation when all your self-esteem has been stripped? And let's say this, it's not always physical. It's emotional, it's mental torment, it's domestic abuse. Financial, economical abuse. It's real. I saw some things pop in YouTube over the past 2 years, and these things were attorneys telling women, do not sit in that house. Day in and day out. Get up and go out and do something. Have a bank account of your own. Have your own private bank account different from anything that's in that house. And get up and go out. Work part-time. Volunteer somewhere. But get up and go out. Because on the day that a divorce or something is thrown at you, you have no money, you have no job, and you have no connection to the outside world. So you don't have a network of people outside of the house that can help you find a job, maybe help you find a place to stay. And you don't have a little nest egg tucked away, a little savings where you say, okay, at least This will hold me over for 18 months until I work something out, or 2 years. You don't have it. Because you put all your eggs in one basket because you believe in a relationship, which can't blame you because it probably was good when it started. So women got to learn how to protect themselves. If there's an account that for whatever reason you think, whether he coerced you or you just say, well, in case something happened to me and all that, and you want to put that person on that account, say like it's a savings account, make sure it takes 2 signatures to make withdrawals. That way, if he's going to make a withdrawal, he needs your signature. If you're going to make a withdrawal, you need his signature. And if he forged your signature, that's between him and the bank, because you're going to let the bank know that's not your signature. Tell you a little story. I'm 22, separated. Going to these little things, to try and get myself together because I had 2 young children. It was in the 80s. And a woman says, we should try and get her in that program. And then they went to check the program, and I had to be at least 35. So you had to be female, 35, and you had to be a displaced homemaker. Well, I'm 22, separated with 2 kids. They got me in. They took me. I got in the program with maybe about 9, 10 other women. They were these ages: 35, 40 something, 60, 62, 58. These were their kind of age, just to give you a. One woman was a English major. She went to college. She majored in English. Never worked a day out the house. She stopped working, had the kid, stay at home, And the kid graduates, and then he gets up and he said, that's it, my work is done here. Bye. Whatever skill she has, she had not used those skills in over 18 years. Another female, I guess he went through midlife crisis because he divorced her. He got the sports car, got the younger girl, and all that kind of stuff. And so why was he calling her to complain about his young miss? Some of the other women, I don't think they figured out. I don't think they figured out why they were even divorced. And guess what? We were all in there learning office, administrative skills, and bookkeeping so we all could get a job. See, now I'm young, I'm just starting out. But these women were like 30, I told you, 35, in their 40s and in their 50s and in their 60s. Gotta learn to type, gotta learn office procedure, gotta learn some bookkeeping procedures. They did everything. They said this is how you dress, and the problem, one of the problem was, these women were beautiful, but they had this, all this gray hair was pretty. But back in the day, now if you didn't, and still, people discriminate against your age because you got some gray, and they're going, oh. So, ladies, don't just think in the relationship for your survival. Think outside of it as well. Think about how you're protecting yourself. Financially, think about that. Emotionally, think about that. Physically, think about that. Until next time, be strong.